Recording. Yeah, welcome back to the WAT podcast with Murtaza by myself. So it's going to be me.
Psych bitch, I am back from the dead that you apparently put me in. I hope that you missed me.
Why? Why would I miss you?
I don't know.
Okay. As you guys can see, that I communicated with Amay through a Ouija board, and I've asked him or asked Satan because he was definitely in hell to once a week allow him to come back just to do the podcast. Satan, could you at least change his voice a little bit, because I'm pretty sure people don't want to hear that. For
Sure.
okay, cool, thanks.
We're back.
We're back. Yeah.
We're back.
How's hell been? How's hell been?
Pretty good, man. It's actually quite nice.
Then what's the point of it being hell? That's
It's warm. It's warm. First
Yeah.
of all, it's warm.
yeah.
Second of all, you can swear a lot. Like, you can't do that in
enjoy
heaven.
Yeah, I would really enjoy that.
Yeah, exactly. So,
How does Satan look like? I've always imagined him to be like, yeah,
um,
or she. I don't know.
I don't know.
I
Like,
don't know.
Satan looks like your worst nightmare.
Oh.
Basically that.
Okay, so it's specific to each individual, whatever you want.
Yeah, he is a freeform.
It's the plot of
Part.
Bird Box. That's what it is. Bird Box.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, cool. Okay, this week we're purely going to dedicate this episode to Captain Marvel.
Are we actually?
I don't know. We can start off with Captain Marvel.
No, let's put that at the end, because whoever doesn't want spoilers for the movie, if they haven't gone and watched it, then
I have a lot to say
And-
about Captain Marvel. That doesn't even have to do with the review. So, what are we going to
okay.
start with, though?
I guess if you have anything that you want to get out of the way before we start the whole Captain Marvel discussion.
I don't have anything. Nothing's
Okay,
happened.
then
this
we
week.
can just.
Oh wait, no, I actually do have some stuff. No. First thing, right? Like, so I was in the cinema, and a lot of people don't watch trailers, right? Going up into that movie, but it's kind of an odd one because I went into Captain Marvel and they showed an Endgame trailer. They showed Spider-Man: Homecoming. They showed Dark Phoenix, which I want to talk about actually. And I was like, well, what's the point, of being like, I'm not going to watch trailers, and then you end up having to watch the trailer anyway.
I mean, if you are that bothered about watching the trailer, then
Close your eyes.
usually you know that there's a specific time before the movie where they just show trailers. So just avoid that time. Come back later.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I never.
I mean that doesn't work in the US because here it's like free seating. And it's like first come first serve, but in India where I went, you book your own seats just like the way we do it in Kenya, where you get a specific seat number and then you go sit on that seat. But yeah, otherwise I don't know about the UK. Is it like that there as well?
Yeah, it is. I think it also depends on how. Okay, so usually when you were buying the ticket, right, they give you seats. But if you walk in and it's like an empty cinema, which when I went, it was an empty cinema. You can just go sit wherever you want, but otherwise,
Okay.
yeah, you do book your seats, and then you sit in your seat. Which for some reason, everyone yesterday was an empty cinema, right, and everyone was moving around, but I refused to get up from the seat that I had booked, even though there were recliners completely free, so I could have had it. But I was like, what if someone walks in and is going to check my ticket and going to be like, you're not allowed to sit here, so I'm going to kick you out. And it never happens. I've gone to so many movies and I go through the same thing. and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's going to happen. And it's like that feeling like, okay, it didn't happen this time, but there's no guarantee it won't happen next time. But it never happens. So next time I'm just gonna take the risk. But no, next time is Infinity War. I don't get kicked out of Endgame. Sorry.
Yeah.
I might go see Shazam, and then I don't mind getting kicked out of that, depending on how good it is.
I think it's gonna be a pretty good movie.
Yeah, it looks pretty nice. Yeah.
Oh, I do have some things to talk about based off of last week's episode that you and Sahani had, by the way.
Okay.
So I just wanted to give my thoughts.
Oh wait,
on-
before I completely forget. Sorry. I need to. I realize. So Hani edited that thing. I didn't even edit it. So you know how I
Okay.
said I was gonna get an editor. And
Yeah.
Hani ended up editing it, and she did a very amazing job because
Oh.
her being her, she like as soon as she
Mm.
started that project, she like completely put herself into it and did it to the highest level. So every moment of silence that we had, even in between, she removed it,
Yeah.
and like she spent 3 hours editing it, and it was just insane. And she deserves.
What the?
Yeah, she did it so well, and she deserves all the credit that I'm giving her right
Wow.
now. So well done,
Oh,
Sohani.
thank you,
And-
Suhani,
And she said,
for carrying last week's
yeah,
podcast.
and I think she deserves a call out for her amazing editing. And she said she's willing to do it for us, so we could look into that. But we don't get paid, so we can't pay her. Maybe
Yeah.
she wants to volunteer.
I would feel bad.
Yeah, unless you volunteers. We know what we could do. We could hire her as an intern, so we don't have to pay her. And
Yeah, that works as
Mm-hmm.
well.
we get her for the experience. She builds her experience. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay. So basically, you guys talked about like the foldable phones and shit,
Mhm.
and the brick phone,
Mhm.
and I've had this discussion with other people, but I really don't think foldable phones are gonna last that long. In fact, I don't even I honestly dislike them, all of them. Even the Samsung one, like whatever it's gonna be like, I don't think it's, first of all, I don't think it's worth $2,000. If you really want something that's that big, then just go buy a fucking tablet. And then I also, what else did I have? What else did I think of when you guys are talking about that? Because
How the fuck am I supposed to know?
no, that's what I'm trying to remember, because I had made like notes and I don't know where I kept them. But anyways, I was just saying, like, I don't think foldable phones are gonna be a thing past 2019, or maybe a few companies will come into it later on. But I really don't, because right now what people want are thin phones that fit in your pocket.
Mhm.
But foldable phones literally defeat the purpose of that.
Okay.
Um,
The thing about
Yeah.
that is, if you see the Huawei phone or however it's pronounced,
dude, that thing is still fat. After all the double fold and all that, it's still fat.
I don't. Okay, you can continue.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, even the Samsung one, the one that's like thin, but like when you fold it, it still becomes double the size of what any other phone is, which defeats the purpose. And same with the brick phone. Like, yeah, it has a extra long battery life and everything, but really at the end of the day, why are you going to carry that? Maybe if you're going like camping or something, then you need it, which, to be fair, if you're going camping, then yeah, you can just throw that in your bag.
Just get a
But if
battery
you're carrying
bag.
it around, yeah, but if you're carrying it around normally, you really don't want to be like, you really don't want to see that like bulge in your pocket, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, same with this with the folding phone.
I mean,
Um,
maybe some people want that bulge in their pocket.
Is that how insecure we are now these days?
Yes.
We compensate with our lack of penis size.
the picture, it changes. Like, do you have a brick phone in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? Okay, listen, you won't understand the struggles of people who have
With a tiny dick?
Yeah, tiny penis. I am not one of them.
Uh-huh. But you can speak for them.
I cannot speak for them because I don't have one.
Okay.
Allegedly. Yeah, move on.
So yeah, basically that's what I had to say. I think last week, like Suhani's jokes landed perfectly, even though most of the references you didn't get, like I got all of them, and
Oh,
they were
look
like
at him. The bigger
they
man.
were like spot on. They were so good. But yeah, I think it was a fairly enjoyable podcast last week.
Yeah, because I was running
'cause-
it with Suhani and you weren't there.
And no, and the thing was like I finally realized the contrast between when two people who have very low sounding voices compared to mine, because like you guys were talking in such low voices, it felt calming, even though like you were talking about some very interesting subjects. Like it was a fairly calming episode. But whereas if I feel like if I'm talking, then most of the time people have to just be like on edge because either A, I'm shouting, or B, I'm talking really loudly. So I I would try to balance that out for sure.
Or, okay, and I'm just spitballing here.
Yeah.
You go away.
Uh-huh.
Suhani and I continue the podcast.
Uh-huh.
And we can invite you as a guest maybe once a year.
Sure.
Cool.
I'll do that.
Okay, let's start this
I'll
in.
do that.
Okay.
Even I will you know what I'll do then? I will start
Your
my
own
own
podcast.
podcast and I'll bring other people in who have all asked me to come in.
Oh, how many
Because
people have
apparently
asked?
when you're not
How many people have asked?
Oh, I have a whole list.
No, seriously, how many?
I have like
how many in total?
at least I would say 10 to 15
No
people have
way.
asked. Yeah, I'm not kidding.
So see, we have them one by one. Why are we waiting to not have? Like,
I thought we didn't want to have any guests on. And the thing is, like, most of these people. Okay, so some of these people are like they live here, like they live in Philadelphia with me, and they want to have like a group podcast,
okay.
which is weird. Or not weird, but like which, it's like the Daval Plenty Vishal episode. And the thing is, I kind of want it now to be more centered around us two.
No, and
After
and the one thing that I kind of have, like, I get like everyone wants to come and share their stories, and that like it's a fun podcast, but like
yeah,
I still feel like we have to still stay true to our content to extent, like.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, if people come
if
on-
I have other people on,
Yeah.
then it kind of breaks the identity of what me and you are trying to do.
Yeah.
So, if in the future when I do have time, if I want to pursue the route of having a podcast with random people on, and we just like talk about our stories and stuff like that, I would probably want to do that as well as this one, but this one being my main focus, and obviously that one as a side project. But yeah, that was what was going in my mind.
You know what you should do? What we should do?
What?
We should aim high for this episode, like this podcast for the end of the year, and then we should start trying to make money off it.
How would we do that?
I don't know,
We
man.
need sponsors.
Yeah, like, I mean, you see, the thing
Yeah.
is, right? If we manage to get a significant, like, even 500 people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we charge not that large of an amount for a small 30-second ad. Like, if we charge 1,000 shillings or like 500 shillings,
That's like $10.
Yeah, like-
$5.
I mean, it's not.
That's like barely covering the cost of.
But you think how many people would
of
do it then?
WordPress.
You see, then we're not, because of the small scale of our podcast, we're not
Yeah.
going.
No.
We're going for quantity, so a lot more people
Yeah.
want to. But okay, that's a
Yeah.
whole discussion we can have by ourselves. We
Yeah.
don't need to do it on a podcast. But yeah, That's
So I think last week's episode was
yeah.
pretty good.
I feel like
Both of you
yeah.
are very calming personalities, so I had fun.
Yeah, I think if we like want to have a guest, like they should like they would come on and like for example in this episode we would all still just talk about Captain Marvel rather than talk about
Yeah.
stories and stuff.
Yeah. So maybe okay. Well, this is like I'll throw you this idea later on, but yeah. We can continue on to Captain Marvel.
You didn't have other thoughts on the podcast? You don't want to tell me and Sohani and I how great we are?
Well, I just did.
Tell us some more.
How much more do you want me to suck your dick, man?
A lot more.
Are you not happy already?
No. Okay, yeah, okay, let's just move on. I'll force you to suck my dick later off the podcast.
What the fuck?
That sounded a lot worse when I said it. Jesus Christ, that sounded a lot worse. You need to stop laughing because it sounds really bad. Just stop.
Okay. Alright.
Okay.
Captain Marvel, yes.
Okay, wait. I still have some things before Captain Marvel.
Oh.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, okay.
It stems from the trailer, like the Dark Phoenix, right? And
Mm-hmm.
ever since, which was the last? Yeah, there was an X-Men film. I don't even remember which one it was.
Apocalypse?
No, not Apocalypse. It was one before that.
Days Gone?
No, not even Days
Days of
Gone.
Past
I think
or
is it the Last Stand? X-Men the Last Stand. That was really good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. After that, I have given up on the X-Men universe. It's messy. Timelines don't make sense. They're like they all do all these weird shit, and the stories are just average. Like the movies that come out are average. And I remember seeing the like Dark Phoenix trailer come out, and I was like, like I don't care about the universe in a whole, so I'm not gonna give a shit about Dark Phoenix. But I ended up seeing the trailer yesterday, and it actually looks pretty good. It actually looks really nice. But to be fair, I thought Apocalypse looked really nice as well, and then it just ended up being. I didn't even watch it, but it ended up being.
I haven't watched it.
Yeah,
either.
it ended up being garbage at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
that was one thought. And Sophie Turner, who I don't think is a very good actress, but I haven't seen her in Game of Thrones, so I don't really know a lot of her work. But like the few things
Yeah.
I've seen her in, I haven't like been like, oh wow, she's a really good actress. So I didn't think it would like she was the best person to make it on. And it's really funny because in a movie with like Jennifer Lawrence and everyone, like a superstar-studded superstar-studded film, like it's Sophie Turner who's the main character now. Like they're all like supporting cast compared to Sophie Turner.
Yeah, they're all support. Yeah.
So that actually I actually got a little bit excited for Dark Phoenix. Obviously, I'm never going to be excited enough to actually go watch it. I'm going to be like, oh, the reviews are good. I'll still wait for it to come out and then watch it. But yeah, that was interesting. Second thing that actually was very interesting as well was Dumbo the movie. Yeah, I saw the trailer for that as well, and I did not also realize how star-studded that film was. Like,
Oh yeah, it is pretty
yeah,
star-studded.
it has Danny DeVito.
I mean, it's fucking Disney.
Yeah, but like, I didn't think they would have so many mainstream actors. Danny DeVito, Michael Keaton, like, Eva Green. That's insane.
Yeah.
I honestly did not expect so many stars, and it still looks garbage. I was never going to see Dumbo, and I'm not going to see it now. Yeah.
True. Same.
Yeah. I'm not.
When the trailer came out, I was just like, no one's gonna watch this shit. Maybe like kids will go watch it, but that's it.
Yeah. Even the Aladdin trailer that came out, I was like, I'm not gonna go watch.
I haven't watched that. I was like, nope. After the first one, nope. Not again.
I'm not a fan of the whole like Disney, singing and dancing, which I guess they aren't attempting to please me. It's more like for kids and teenagers or whatever who enjoy that type of.
I mean, that's how they have been from the start, though. The musical movies.
Yeah, I know, but
like the Lion King, all of them.
Yeah,
just been like
and
that.
that's what I mean. It's like at this age, I'm not a big fan of like animated singing movies, and again, those movies aren't for me. They're for younger audiences who enjoy that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure Dumbo and Aladdin will make a shit ton of money anyway. But it was very fascinating to see how many stars were in Dumbo. It was just
Yeah.
absolutely fascinating. Okay.
Okay. You know, so I genuinely think that Dumbo is not gonna make that much money though.
Look.
I think it's gonna be Lion King. I mean, everyone thinks knows it's probably gonna be Lion King, Aladdin, Dumbo, in terms of which earns the most money. But I don't think Dumbo is gonna do that well because Dumbo is not that well known.
Mm-hmm.
So even like the kids, who like the kids who wanna watch it, right? They will wanna watch either Lion King or Aladdin more because they've heard of these two like stories a lot more than they have Dumbo. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I
So
don't know how the mind of a kid works. I always just assume they go for any movie blindly.
fair enough.
Like I don't think they give a shit about like if it's Lion King because they don't have any sentiment towards it. They just want to watch an animated movie. And I really hope people aren't like, oh, you're underestimating kids and the things they feel. I don't give a shit, man.
All right. So are we done with the trailer discussion? Pre-movie trailer discussion.
Yeah, we can be. Hopefully, a lot of people have seen Captain Marvel or just don't.
I mean, we're like this is gonna be almost a whole week late.
Mm-hmm.
So the people who wanted to watch it have already probably watched it.
That is true, and I do know the people who have. I actually don't know a lot of people who wanted to go watch it in the cinema though. So
Really?
yeah, I didn't.
That's fair.
I knew.
Maybe they were.
I asked quite a few people, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't really want to watch it or don't really care about it."
Okay. That's fair, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. So first we'll give the short version of it.
Mm-hmm.
No spoiler review, and then we'll talk about spoilers.
Yeah.
So you can go first.
I thought it was just good. Like I didn't think it was very good. I didn't think it was great. I just thought it was good. I thought it was a filler film. Like,
Yeah.
it was a film they just had to release before Endgame because Captain Marvel is going to be in Endgame. Or might not be. Or might be. Or might not be.
I mean, she is.
No, she's going to be in
there, everyone
Endgame.
knows that.
I'm trying to see if that's a spoiler, but everyone knows she's going to be in Endgame.
Yeah.
And I thought it was just a movie that they had to release to give some background information on Captain Marvel, so people aren't really confused when she appears in Endgame. And I don't know. I feel like it would have. Yeah, I thought it was just good. I had a lot of issues with it. I enjoyed a lot of it though. Like it was, yeah. I guess that sums up good. There was a lot of bad and there was a lot of good. So it's just in the middle. It's average. Good.
Yeah, it's a typical, like phase 2, phase 3. No, phase 3 Marvel origin story.
Yeah.
Like it's good, but it's not amazing.
Yeah.
And it's not terrible. And pretty much after Infinity War, every single movie that they've released, which is only 2, are technically filler movies.
Which 2 have they released? Captain Marvel.
Ant-Man and this one.
Yeah.
So, like, they've just done those 2 to like bridge the timeline a bit, I guess. Like, if you watched Infinity War and then you went and watched Endgame, you're gonna be confused. So they have to release these 2. But yeah, I guess at the same time, it was a decent movie. Like, it was some things that were wrong with it, some things that were pretty good with it. Do you want to talk about what was wrong with it?
What?
And we can go into the good stuff.
Wouldn't that be kind of like, I think it's more to do with, okay, I guess I can say it's like, I can.
Is it like less, is it spoilery or no?
I think I can say some things that are not spoilery that I didn't like.
Okay.
So,
Okay, fine.
the first act and has been a very common theme along like everyone who's reviewed the movie, is that the middle part is really slow and really boring. The middle part of the film is really like it really drags on, and I also found myself like pretty wondering and pretty like what the hell, like nothing's really happening.
Yeah.
I also thought it was very predictable, even though there was supposed to be
I am fucking tired of your predictions coming
yeah
true.
I
You said Jude Law was gonna shit.
yeah you're going yeah I absolutely knew
Spoiler.
everything that was going to happen in that movie from the start. I knew what they were building up to. I knew, I was just sitting there and I was like, okay, yeah, this is happening. This is happening. You can definitely say that part about where I'm getting all my predictions right, because I have predictions for Endgame as well. But yeah, there was nothing, and they tried to make this twist happen, but I was like, that's not a twist. I kind of saw it coming from miles away.
I didn't see it coming. I didn't think it was that predictable, to be fair.
Okay, then I guess it's just to
but
me.
I could be yeah.
But yeah,
because you had like the whole prediction shit, but I didn't think it was like that.
okay, well, I guess then that's why like we kind of differ. Like I know you rated it a lot higher when we were initially discussing, but I guess those
I mean, I gave it a 7. You gave it a 6.
Yeah, and I guess it's those things that kind of define it, like that twist that adds something. What else was there? I guess the rest we can talk about in spoilers. But those were my.
I mean, I don't. One of the bad like things that I found out was kind of bad. Like the comedic timing was not that great. Like the jokes were fine, you know. When you think of like a Marvel movie, you think there's gonna be like good comedic timing and the jokes will like land every single time. But like this one, first of all, there weren't that many jokes. Like the jokes were basically the characters. Like Samuel Jackson was comedic relief. The cat was comedic relief. That was it. There was no like, like witty dialogue or like funny lines or something like that. I wouldn't say that's a problem with it. Like if you're looking for a fairly serious movie, then it was fine. But like, if you think that it's gonna be a funny movie, then you're gonna be slightly disappointed.
Yeah, I thought majority of the jokes landed. There was one joke that I really didn't like, but I thought most of the jokes landed. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like they were far in between.
That's fair.
That's what I mean.
That's fair.
Yeah. Like it's not an overly funny movie, you know?
Yeah. I thought Brie Larson was actually really good as well. Like everyone had complaints, about like, oh, she's stoic, and it's really ironic.
She's monotonous.
Yeah, and everyone is ironic. Like ironically, is like you need to smile more. Like she needs to smile more, and if you watch the movie, you'll understand why that's ironic. Is it irony? I don't know, but yeah, it's ironic.
Because she does smile a lot.
Yeah, and not even
during the whole
and
movie.
she's really good. Like, and obviously she's a soldier, which isn't a spoiler. That's literally she's a soldier. So I expect that hard emotion from her. Like I don't expect her to be completely cheerful and I don't expect her to be like Paul Rudd, just all happy and chirpy. Lack of seriousness. Like I completely understand her expressions, but everything else I think is pretty spoilery. So
yeah, I think all the in general all the actors did well.
Oh, the supporting cast was really good. I think every actor was really good in that. Yeah, the one actor that I fell in love with, and I had seen her or him. That kind of ruined it. I was going to do this whole thing where I was going to talk about one of the characters, and it was going to be Goose, the cat, because man, I love that cat. I think I awed every time he was on screen.
What the fuck?
And okay, we'll talk about.
All right.
Yeah.
Right.
Wait, no. There's
Onto
something.
spoilers
There's
now.
something I want to actually say before.
Okay.
That I feel like is an interesting topic that doesn't really spoil the movie, but there are a lot of there's a big problem with Captain Marvel, and it's caused the struggle. And it's not the whole like all white man comment that she made. I don't give a shit about that. I don't think she was wrong. I don't think, like what she said should have been blown out of proportion in that manner. Don't think she was trying to attack everyone. I think what she was trying to say is right. But that's not the struggle I'm talking about. It's the fact that Elizabeth Olsen is really angry right now because Captain Marvel is supposed to be the new face of Phase 3, right? It's Phase 3 or Phase 4?
Yeah.
Phase 3.
Phase 3.
Yeah, she's supposed to be the new phase. And she's upset that she's been in this Marvel Cinematic Universe for so long. She is also extremely powerful because she also has the power of one of the stones. And she is an extremely powerful character.
She has the power of which one? The reality.
I actually don't know. Let me confirm that.
I mean, based on the
it
red
be...
stuff, it looks like the reality stone.
Yeah, but you see the thing is,
really
she doesn't control reality.
So is it the power stone? Because like she's fucking powerful.
And she has the same stone. Energy as the mind stone. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why she could even, I guess, that's why she can destroy stones.
Oh, that's why she could like give people nightmares and stuff.
Yeah. So she's an extremely powerful character, and she thought she would be the new front, like kind of the leader, like the most powerful character. And now and apparently she was kind of promised that, and she was told that you're going to be the new front. That's why in Endgame and everyone, they kind of start showing how powerful she is. And then Captain Marvel came, and now she's being made the new face of Phase 3, and she's very unhappy with that, and she's very displeased with that. And I don't know, I don't have an opinion on that. I would love to see both of them as a face of Captain, Phase 3. I love both of them as a character they play, but I thought that was a very interesting story. Because I do understand where Elizabeth Olsen is coming from, and I do think she does deserve it a little bit more, because we're more familiar with that character. We also love her more.
But the thing is, like, she's been fucking dusted.
Yeah, but she's going to come back.
Okay, listen. Even though, but like we know that for most of Endgame, she's not going to be there.
That's different.
She's been dusted.
That's not being the face of Phase 3. Like, in Endgame, none of the new characters are going to be the face of Endgame. It's going to be the original cast who are going to move on with their lives.
Look, we don't even know if Captain Marvel is going to be the actual face of Phase 3. Like, we just know that she is going to be there in Endgame, and she is somehow the key, one of the pieces in beating Thanos. We don't know. I feel like we don't know anything about Phase 3 at all. We only know that there's gonna be fucking Spider-Man movie, and then after that they haven't announced anything after that. When you think about it, they haven't announced a single movie after Spider-Man.
That is fair. I still feel
so.
But I still feel like these things are pre-planned. Like, just because we don't know doesn't mean this. Like, they don't have a plan already in set. Like,
right, but there's like we can't. I mean, we can't really say anything.
Of course, we can't say anything. I'm basing this off like things I've been reading. Yeah. Obviously, I cannot say it of anything in my opinion, or my. What would this be? What I'm saying is not like definitive, and it's not definitely going to happen, and it's not going to come out, and Elizabeth Olsen going to be like, I'm done playing Scarlet, which you go get your own character. Like, fuck off, fuck you.
Yeah.
She calls out Brie Larson on Twitter. She hires some people to dig down into her Twitter history, find a homophobic tweet, and ends her career. No, I don't know if that's going to happen, but I wonder if Brie Larson does have a homophobic tweet.
What the fuck?
No, I honestly think if she did, one of the very agitated white males that got offended by her, like no, I think they would have already found one, dug deep and being like, ha, you want this, but you said this in 2009 because you can't grow and change as a person and change your views on things. because you can have a view, realize that it's wrong, change it accordingly, but I'm still gonna hold you to your 2009 character, or like
Yeah.
whoever you were in 2009. But yeah, okay, we
Alright,
can get into
so
spoilers.
okay, spoilers. On to the spoilers.
Um,
What is the first thing you want to talk?
First thing that I want to talk about is actually very important. Is this very big debate that when she comes into Endgame, she's going to be very overpowered, and she's going to. It's going to make the battle with Thanos very anticlimactic because she can just, do anything and beat him. Because at the
Yeah.
end of the movie, she was super OP, which is one of the very big problems.
She was OP as
Yeah,
fuck.
and it's one of the big problems I have with a Superman film, and the reason. Okay, let me put this out in like coherent thought, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like Superman because he's too OP, so you never feel like there's any danger. But
Yeah.
every time a Superman movie does happen, he's always faced with more powerful characters. Like when, I think it was what was the Superman movie with Zod in it?
Man. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know the one, right? When he had an army, like he had like people who are just as powerful as him and could beat the shit out of Superman. Still doesn't make. I still don't find it enjoyable because I don't feel like there are any real stakes or whatever. But
Yeah.
that's what really irritates me, and I still feel Marvel isn't stupid enough to make Captain Marvel that OP so that there's no stakes at all in Endgame.
I think it's gonna be that's I mean towards the end she did seem a little OP, but then that was against like fucking henchmen
Yeah,
and shit like that. So when it comes against a fucking 6 stone wielding titan, who knows
yeah, and
what's gonna happen.
and there have been like reports that future movies are going to take on planets where like she'll step on and everyone just beats the shit out of her because they're more powerful than her.
Yeah.
And
There's a lot of the Marvel universe that people don't even know about.
yeah, so
And yeah, so I'm pretty sure, like, if you have an 11-year build up to an anticlimactic fight, people are gonna be pissed.
I also don't think she will be the forefront of that fight. I think she's going to be on a, like, how in this movie they were all fighting in Wakanda, right? I think.
Yeah.
And then there were people fighting Thanos. I feel like the core
Yeah.
cast will be fighting Thanos, trying to resolve that.
And she's
just
gonna
going to
be
be one of
fighting
those
the
people who are
army.
like fighting the henchmen, who are like killing the millions of people there, like millions of
Yeah.
henchmen, and yeah, she's going to
Yeah.
have that part. But I don't think she's going to be in the main battle because I think this is the Tony Stark.
This is the Avengers.
Yeah,
It's Avengers.
It's the Avengers, core. Like it's their swan song
Mm-hmm.
for people moving on. So they have to be at the forefront of the fight. They have to finish what they started. So I don't even think she's going to be in the main fight, which I'm okay with.
Yeah.
And I really hope that none of the new characters, regardless of whoever it is, takes away from the old ones who are leaving. I feel like this is their moment. Just give it to them. You guys still have the whole Marvel universe, the new Avengers that will come out to do your thing.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that's what everyone wants and everyone is going to get. I'm pretty sure Marvel already know that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause-
I mean, it's called Avengers for
Exactly.
a reason.
And I mean, even
So,
though
yeah.
Tony Stark dies halfway through the movie or he dies on the plane,
Shut the fuck up.
we will remember him.
Stop.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one of the things that you said in last week's, and it made me very sad as well.
Yeah, I know. I said it specifically to hurt you.
I know, and then after that, you're like, oh, because Amay is gonna cry in the fucking theater, and I want him to cry.
Yeah,
Bitch.
I do. I would really enjoy that if you could.
I really don't want that to happen.
He's going to die.
Fuck you.
I'm being serious, man. I'm just preparing you for it. Okay, listen. I'm preparing in a way that if he dies, you're like, Murtaza told me. I'm not gonna cry because I already knew it was coming in a way.
No.
And if he doesn't die,
no.
you'll be so happy that
I'm
he
going to
didn't
be
die.
even more pissed because I'm like, fuck, Murtaza was right. He's gonna die.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry even more.
That's true.
Yeah, let's talk about the thing is like they also tied in a lot of stuff that, I had questions about in the movie. Like, how the fuck did the Tesseract get on Earth? They tied that in properly.
Yeah.
You know, like how the fuck was it in the Shield lab when Loki came and took it away?
Yeah, and
Um,
and it was something that when I saw Honey and I were talking as well, like she mentioned that it was also a film just to like type all the loose ends and kind of like provide history on everything, like connect
Yeah.
the whole universe, like how does the Tesseract come there, like what is its importance and everything, like
Yeah, I think that was the only thing that needed explanation before uh before whatever Endgame. Like how did something happen? And I think I think every single question, in fact, has been answered, and therefore everything has been tied in really well. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
The first post credit scene got me hyped as fuck.
yeah, and I actually have
That
thoughts
was
on that.
so cool.
I've actually thoughts and theories on that I've developed. So
Yeah.
and this has also been combined with like a lot of other people I've like podcasts and stuff that I've learned who all have theories. But I think these are very interesting theories. So one theory is that she is actually one of the people who was snapped. Like she is part of the snap, and the reason when she comes, she looks like really like worn out, and like
Oh yeah,
where
she looks fucked
yeah,
up. Yeah.
she looks fucked up. It's because she's using all her power to not fade away, and that's why she
Yeah.
won't ever like. And that's the thing is like she can't.
Oh,
That's why
she
she wouldn't
won't
be as
fight
powerful
properly.
as Thanos or whatever, because she's super underpowered, and
Yeah.
and I thought that was a very interesting theory, and
Mm-hmm.
and it was all, and it's also nice to know that because she absorbs the Tesseract, she can do jump through space the way the engine was designed because she's absorbed the power of the Tesseract. And,
Yeah.
But yeah, and apparently there's a theory that what she has been doing, like this came out in an unscripted version, like of the post-credit scene, is that she has been spending her time defending planets which don't have like an Avengers team, and so that's
Okay.
what she's been doing. I'm just giving Easter eggs or whatever, but yeah, and
Yeah,
that's
that could
also
be possible,
another
obviously.
reason why she looks worse for wear is because she had to like jump galaxies to just come, because
Yeah.
as she said, it's only for emergencies, so this must be an emergency. But I would really like it if she was part of the snap and she's just using all her powers not to fade away.
That would be actually pretty insane.
Yeah, like in moments you see her like arm fading and like she just powers up and like brings it back. Like
Yeah.
that would actually be that would be a really amazing turn. I really hope that prediction doesn't come true.
Then I think the other one was
The second one was
like
really
spoilers or what?
second one was really pointless. The second end credit scene, I didn't really like it.
Yeah, I mean that's how like that was kind of obvious.
Yeah, but like, it was it. I feel like they could have.
Yeah, like he's gonna throw up the test
Okay, no, like-
one day or another.
Okay, no, when you saw him, you knew he was going to throw up. That's fine, but I didn't think it was like worth sitting through the whole thing, because you're still, while you're sitting in the cinema and you're looking through the credits, you're expecting something, and that was so underwhelming and disappointing.
I think all of the second post credit scenes been like this anyways? Haven't they all been like this?
I don't remember.
Like look, for Ant-Man and the Wasp, the first one was when those guys got snapped
Yeah.
and you're like, holy fuck. I don't even know then the second one was what? The ant playing the drums, or was it not that? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't remember.
And then in Thor, the first one was when they're in the ship and then the big ass thing comes, and then in the second one, it was something else. The first post credit scene always is the one that gets you hyped,
Yeah.
and then the second one is like to cool you down. That's my guess, but yeah.
I still was really disappointed. Okay, so I guess the difference is like, I didn't watch Ant-Man and the Wasp or Thor in cinemas. So it was like I waited for like 5 minutes, sat through the entire credit scene, and then I missed the bus to bring me back. Because
Good for you.
because I was like, I need to watch this end credit scene, because like, what if
Yeah.
Amoy brings it up and then I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, you could have watched it on YouTube or anything.
Yeah, but this it's different, you can be like. Also, let me tell you the story. So, I was in an empty cinema, right? There were quite little people there, and there was the first end credit scene, and everyone left apart from these two dudes, and then there was me. And and you just want to be better than everyone else. So I was like, you fucking idiots. You left. There's a second end credit scene, you know. All you people are like super, dumb. And you don't even know. You don't even know Marvel like I do because I know they're two end credit scene. So I'm gonna sit through it. And then I was like, lucky bastards, they all left before they had to see this. Like,
the thing is, I also feel like the reason why you felt so disappointed was because the first one was so fucking like exciting, and then the second one was just like meh.
Yeah.
Like if the first one wasn't like that, hyped up, then you'd just be like, okay, that's fine, that's whatever.
Yeah.
You would,
and some
the disparity between the hype levels of the two was greater than any other one.
Yeah. I think some part of me was like, they should put the first post-credit scene as a second post-credit scene, because like, the true Marvel people can see it, but again, like, no one gives a shit about true Marvel. They care about everyone, and they want everyone to see the main hype one, like the really hype one.
Yeah, exactly.
But I guess you could make a better second post-credit scene for the...
Like, the true Marvel people will stay for all the fucking Easter eggs and all the tiny little shit things.
And I guess you could add something more for them, but who knows?
Yeah, but like, everyone else just wants to know, what's gonna happen in Endgame. Like, the people who've been invested in the series for however long they've been invested in, but they're not like, proper Marvel fanboys or anything. They just like superhero movies.
What other... the one twist that I didn't actually see coming was the Flurkin twist. That is the one thing that I did not... I knew it was going to be an alien. I knew it would do something. I did not expect the octopus arms to come out of its mouth.
Did you say after that?
Yeah, I didn't. But after it, like when Nick Fury is like kind of interacting with it after realizing.
Yeah, he's like, I have to pick you up now.
That I still said because it was a beautiful cat.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the one thing that I was not expecting at all. And Nick Fury had I think he was the best character in that film, though.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like he worked with everyone, Like, Brie Larson was like kind of okay in some deliveries of the jokes, because for example, when she opens the door and the neighbor is there, I was like, this is an overextended joke for no reason, and it's not even funny. Like,
that one was kind of bad. That one was really bad.
I was like, oh, please stop. And it was like the longest joke that there was.
Yeah, but it wasn't even like funny.
Yeah, the funniest joke definitely in that was when they were asking, the... Holy shit, man.
What?
The Skrulls. Wow. No, sorry. They asked the Skrull, like, general. I also don't remember any of their names. I don't know a single person's name, but the Skrull general, they were like, can you transform into a filing cabinet? And he's like, why would I want to transform into a... and Fury's like, I'll give you $50 if you turn into a Venus flytrap right now. I think that was the funniest joke. I also didn't think...
I'm telling you, like, that guy, Samuel Jackson was just there for comedic.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it was him rather than anyone else.
Yeah, I think it was. I also love the Skrull leader. I also knew he wasn't...
Who is he?
Huh? He's an Australian actor.
Yeah, but which one? I could tell from the accent he was Australian, but...
Yeah, hold on. Let me just look up the cast. I should know his name. I just typed cast in Google. I didn't type Marvel, Captain Marvel. But yeah, I thought it was actually really good as well. Like,
he was good.
Yeah.
He was pretty good.
Ben Mendelsohn, yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Ben Mendelsohn. What other movies has he been in?
Oh, that's actually really nice. Paul Mendelsohn is the boss. Is Samuel L. Jackson's boss in the movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So yeah, that's what he looks like
Wait,
in
but
real life.
who has Ben Mendelsohn worked with? I mean, well, what other movies? Because I've heard that name before.
He has been in Rogue One. He was in The Dark Knight Rises.
Rogue One as who?
Orson
Don't
Krennic.
tell me another
Orson
CGI character.
Krennic. Yeah. I don't know who that is. I haven't watched Rogue One. He was in Ready Player
I
One.
don't remember that movie.
Yeah, he was in Ready Player
I
One.
watched
He actually has a long list. But I think
Ready Player One. Was he the bad dude in Ready Player One?
I haven't watched that either. But he was Sorrento.
Yeah, he was the bad dude then. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, he's actually been in a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And acting.
That's what I'm saying. I've heard that name before.
He's been acting since 1984.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I also.
So yeah, I guess that's.
Yeah.
Well, what?
No, I was gonna move on and say I also didn't like a lot of the action sequences because, again, her fighting like generic, bad guys.
Yeah.
Kind of didn't have any stakes in it. Even the end was super underwhelming. Where I was like, I get it.
Yeah.
I get like, just get it over with. Like you're trying to.
Like the part that I liked the most was like her coming of age, like when she finally realized that she is fucking strong as shit.
Yeah.
But then after that, it was like, okay, fine, like yeah, she's gonna destroy everyone. There's literally no point in all of this. I kind of wish that they had gotten over it like really quickly. But yeah, it's what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. If they would have dragged that shit a little bit longer, I would have lost my mind.
Yeah.
I was like, it was getting kind of boring.
It was. There was nothing like to make you feel like, oh, what's going to happen? How it was.
Yeah, she was literally destroying it.
Yeah, it was just like, okay, that's fun. That's good. Like,
Yeah.
I get it.
It was like the last part was literally a showcase of her power when she was basically a showcase of her power.
Yeah, it was.
It was just a montage of a showcase of her power.
And I found that really boring because I didn't feel invested in it.
Yeah, I feel like if they would have shown all of that shit in like in Endgame, that would have been insane. Because then you're like, oh fuck, she can do all this shit.
Yeah, but I guess
like,
they would have to like dedicate like screen time to explaining why she can now do this shit because she had the whole thing that was stopping her, and you would have to like kind of figure like what happened.
No, not the part where like she finally got rid of that, but like against the henchmen she was kind of okay. Like I feel like at the end of Captain Marvel they should have toned down her power, like what we said, like she was too OP, like too overpowered against those fucking.
So I guess she just like does like she uses her minimal power to defeat everyone, and then in like Endgame like.
And then in Endgame, like you actually see everything, and you're like, holy fuck.
Yeah, that could have been really good actually.
Yeah, that would have been a good like twist and like a good like eye opener. But yeah, I guess. But I mean, if you do read the comics and if you do know Marvel really well, then you know that she is really strong. So, like this downplaying of her power would not go well with a lot of people. But yeah. Anyways.
Well, I actually have a question. Did you think the way Samuel L. Jackson lost his eye was a disappointment?
Everyone knew it was gonna be the cat. So it's fine. It's whatever. I thought it was okay. I'm also glad that they didn't dwell on that for long.
Yeah.
If they'd have added a little more, or like something actually like shit happened to him that wasn't the cat, I think that'd have been quite boring. But I'm glad they just ended it with that one scratch scene and that was it. But
yeah, that's fair. I think the only action sequence I really enjoyed was the train sequence. I thought that was really amazing.
Yeah.
And something that was pointed out is why no one was questioning how badass the grandmother was. Like everyone was trying to stop Brie Larson from hitting this grandmother, which I thought was really funny. But no one was questioning why the grandmother was doing backflips and like generally
What the
like
fuck?
it was like the fuck. I thought that was really really entertaining.
Yeah, it was. That scene was
Yeah,
entertaining.
and then from there, that's where I felt like the Earth stuff just dragged on, and it was just a bit.
Yeah, it was a bit too much.
Yeah. One thing that I'm very excited to see now in like the future of Captain Marvel is the daughter, who's Monica Rambeau, and
Yeah.
she in the comics has held Captain Marvel, and at this age she's probably closer to Brie Larson's age, and I think currently she holds Spectrum in the comic books, and I really want to know if in Phase 3 we will get the Ultimates, which is like a team of like Blue Marvel, Spectrum, Captain Marvel, like Black Panther, and they're all like working
Yeah.
together, and they're like Guardians of the Galaxy, but Guardians of the Galaxy kind of had low scale battles. Like this is like intergalactic battles because they're all super powerful characters.
Ooh,
Yeah, and I really want to know
that'd
if
be
yeah, and I
amazing.
really want to know if they'll do that, or even if they'll like introduce like Monica in Endgame, because she's back on Earth, Captain Marvel,
Yeah.
and I wonder if like Monica Rambeau will be there. But yeah, it's exciting
Yeah.
to know that Monica Rambeau already exists in this universe now, and she could potentially be also like hold the suit of
Another
Captain
superhero.
Marvel, or just be Spectrum, who is also they're all really powerful characters. So
Okay.
that will be interesting to see in future Marvel movies. But yeah, I think overall, is there anything else I'm missing? I had a lot of issues when I walked out of it yesterday. But I guess that sums it up. Like she was doing.
Those are like, yeah, most of them are like nitpicks,
Yeah, but I want to nitpick.
like really
I
tiny
can't.
ones.
I nitpick every movie. I can't be different for this.
I mean, if we were to nitpick this movie, this podcast would go on for another 20 minutes,
Yeah, fair enough.
which I really don't have the time for right now.
Oh, so you're going to do 2 podcasts, but you can't even dedicate time to this one podcast. Wow.
No, you fuck, because I have to edit and upload it today itself.
And whose fault is that?
Yours, because apparently you couldn't go watch Captain Marvel earlier.
Yeah, because I had stuff to do as well.
Yeah, so it is your
Okay,
fault.
listen, I'm not part of the editing, so I don't give a shit what happens once I stop recording. So
Exactly.
you
so,
do you.
Yeah.
I didn't even edit last week because I'm completely incapable.
Because you're a fucking loser. That's
No,
what you are.
I'm not a fucking loser. I'm fucking
Anyways,
stupid. That's why.
anyways.
Is anyways even a thing? Isn't it anyway?
Anyways is also a thing,
No,
right?
anyways isn't a thing. It's anyway.
Okay, fine.
Jesus
Anyway.
Christ. You know what would be really funny if
Anyway.
you get comments like, no, anyways is a thing, you're wrong. And I'm like, yeah, this is what I meant. Like, I'm already stupid. So just leave it at that.
Anyway,
Anyways.
I think this. Shut the fuck up. I think this is a good place to end this week's podcast on. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the WAT podcast. We'll see you same time, same place next week.
Anyways.
Goodbye. Shut the fuck up.